saw last game, except for it was in the mid lane, but still likes to play a lot of those, not quite off meta, but like soft meta aggressive top lane picks. So I'm really hoping we get to see some of those come out today. Yone specifically comes to mind.
And a bit of a run back to our previous drafts, actually. Like, I want to talk about how we're not seeing this LeBlanc being picked. Like, everyone is banning it, and also everyone is banning it on blue side, which is kind of the double down of this question. But Carvis, what's going on? Like, why are we not seeing LeBlanc? Why are people... Do you feel like maybe people are worried to play it themselves, they just want to ban it away? Or do you feel like maybe people are saying it's just too powerful to give over, we have other preferences, we want to play with more comfort?
It's one of the two, depending on the player, I think. With the players also now figuring out some counterpicks to it, like we've seen Talia show up a little bit against it, we've seen Lissandra show up a little bit against it. These counterpicks can shut down the LeBlanc's laning phase due to her not having the initial burst for level 6 to play with a jungler. It's a little bit odd still that people are not banning it on the red side instead of blue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Just pick it. It's good.
And I want to go to you, Takeoff, because I feel like we've had the same story twice in the two games. Now, obviously, it's given us different endings, right? We had one team pick very comfort, not meta, pick up the win. A second team pick up very not meta and more comfort, and not get the win, right? Where are you kind of standing on this? Because I feel like there are some metas that we go through where it's like you play this or you basically lose the game. Recently, it's felt like, you have a bit more wiggle room. You can kind of do what you want. And actually, it is much more about how you play the comp than actually the comp itself.
Yeah, you kind of have to find that sweet spot in between where you want to pick things that you know how to play, that you're very comfortable on, but you don't want to disrespect the meta too much. I mean, it's meta for a reason. We were talking about the LeBlanc earlier. She absolutely dominates games that she's in, and you have to utilize or respect stuff like that. So we kind of saw them disrespect the Milio last game. Maybe we won't see it this game, but so far, no Milio ban.
No Milio banned. Also, no LeBlanc banned so far. Are we going to get the final ban to be the LeBlanc to take it off of the red side? Or are we going to finally get to see it in action?
Well,
it's banned.
Yep. This is how the draft is supposed to look like. Good job, both teams. We have finally reached the level of meta.
Okay, it's only taken us 3 games, and we have got the right one. And now Milio being shown there. Milio for me is like...
Instead, with Lucian now there, they can, both teams, of course, get a proper setup for the bot lane. Cassandra, priority pick, gets locked up top lane blind, and the buy, Bobas has been playing it almost every single game, able to provide that skirmishing potential, guaranteed engage onto the enemy carry. It's just a really good, solid meta jungler overall.
Yeah, and Lulu with the Aphelios, really strong setup in the bot lane. Obviously, it's the Milio Lucian. We'll have to see how those two play out by the early game jungle. I do wonder what they're going to counter it with from Munster right now. We're seeing the Olaf and the Aurelion Soul banned away, so a couple of picks removed from the roster. Obviously, definitely a strong Aurelion Soul there in the mid lane for the side of MRG. So, smart ban away. From MRG though, what do you kind of want to see them round out this comp with? Because they have a lot of early game, they have a lot of stability. What do they need to add to really push them over the edge?
They do have a bunch of options. They need another source of guaranteed damage output. Nothing like a bursty. They either need 2 bursty ones or a guaranteed one. Something like a Kindred would work really well here, for example, if Nord plays it. Still, it's Blue-White's turn to pick. I think this will be a top laner just to face off against the Cassandra, and it will be the Scion locked in for my camp.
Yeah, they over the Singe. Me and Takeoff got beige. You know, we were like, yeah, that's cool. That's a cool pick. But now they're gonna go Scion. It's solid. It does what it does. It stands in front of the rest of the team and just takes it while Aphelios can go absolutely.
Oh!
But this pick could cut him down to size.
Yeah, I would be very excited to see the Gwen come through here. It's been a long time, and there it is. It's been a long time since I've seen this champion around, like even in the pro meta, in my solo queue games. That's a Sejuani as well.
Yeah, so it is Cassante mid, Gwen top, Sejuani in the jungle, the flex potential of Cassante again coming out. Now, what Blue Whites need is something like an Azir, I think, would fit here really, really well.
No, definitely, because they have a lot of options. There are still a lot of things open.
Oh!
Hey, that is a spicy bit. I like this a lot, especially with a lot of melees charging up into you. Cassiopeia goes strong.
Yep, that does a similar type of thing to Azir, completely zoning out low-range members of the enemy team. Does a bunch of consistent damage output as long as you hit the Noxious Blast, and able to duo carry behind the back line with Aphelios. Monster definitely has a wall to run into with this extremely short-range team. What they do have, though, is a Gwen.
But they do have a Gwen, but the thing is Gwen going to be enough to take them and get the throne before Cassiopeia turns them all to stone? You know, this is the question I have for you, Takeoff.
Yeah, I'm honestly a bit worried about MRG's comp in general. It does feel like they're going to be very reliant on the Lucian to be dealing that backline damage, and if he doesn't work out, then Gwen just has so much responsibility, like you said. I mean, that Scion is going to be a very beefy target late. Sure, she can cut him down naturally, but I mean, still, there's a lot of shutdown potential with the Cassiopeia, with the Vi, with the Lulu. There's a lot of ways for them to counteract that anti-tank, so they have to be very careful about it.
But part of me is wondering, though, obviously, we talk about like Cassante being a very strong top laner, a very consistent pick, something that you kind of used to seeing now. But Cassante, when he first came onto the show, was like big tank, big beefcake, hard to kill, but also will just take your ADC into Narnia and isolate kill them before anyone can do anything about it. Does he also have the options to do that with the Cassiopeia and now the Aphelios as well? So could potentially play a huge role in actually just removing half the damage from Blue Whites.
Normally, yes. But Cassante suffers from the Silas problem in this matchup, in that most of his abilities are dashes, jumps, or movement abilities. If you stand in the miasma, your ability bar is a bunch of gray. You can press Q. Good luck. And it's all about Influentic positioning himself properly, moving around. Just landing a Q is what he needs to do. He cannot just jump in and start auto-attacking, because then he will be standing in the miasma. He needs to find an initiation, whether it be with the ult or with the third hit Q, and it automatically turns this matchup a lot harder than a regular Cassante mid matchup.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
We haven't done it yet, but let's predict. I want to hear the predictions. Who do you think is going to win? Takeoff, you can go first.
I mean, I just have to go with Blue-White. Something I was going to bring up is that, like Carvus was saying, a lot of champions are really reliant on dashes in their kit, and the Cassio is just going to make that incredibly difficult. So if Pomo can play this, very well, it's just the game's going to just be so easy for them.
Well,
I think it's pretty fair.
Well, normally I would say Blue Whites here. The monster power spikes are really well coordinated for the mid game. This Lucian Milio will be able to take over bot side. And if they play through the bot side well enough, countering the Vi setups that have been kind of telegraphed already where this Vi will be playing throughout the game, Monster definitely has a chance to take this through skirmish wins alone before it gets to that 5-on-5 fight. Gwen, of course, pressuring the Sion on the top side is a problem that has to be dealt with eventually. And Sion is definitely going to do that. They may have to rotate someone like the Cassiopeia over to deal with the Gwen, and suddenly the team fight is a lot stronger for Munster if the Cassiopeia is not there. So I honestly can't say which one
You're
is
on the
better.
fence. You're on the fence. He's on the fence. It's crazy. It's crazy for you, Carlos. That's surprising. But you know what? I understand where you're coming from, right? I feel like, especially with the games that we've had today, it is so hard to predict how you're going to see this game because, you know what? We've already seen it all. We've almost seen chomps that we think would never win in any stretch of the imagination take them all the way to late game. We've seen comps that should basically just ice it out, struggle. This one could be the same. I do think the miasma is going to play a huge role in this whole game because, as we said, there are 4 different champions that have dashes on the side of MRG. And that is a problem when you're playing against Cassiopeia. But I do also agree that mid-game could change the whole game. Because if they get ahead, they can just run through over them. Then it doesn't really matter if you're going to be stopped once or twice because the damage will just be there to carry you through. So we'll have to find out how this one does play out. I'm excited, guys. This is game number 3. We've had a solid game, good games, high tier, spice-induced flavor has been there, the name of the game. But this is going to be another banger indeed. Where's your eyes for the start of this game? Actually, we don't even need to ask that. Let's just get straight into it. Take it away, boys.
Yep, I'm very excited to kick this one off. I'm sure this one will live up to the hype that the other 2 games have placed. Sion, already just dancing on that tri-brush. You'll love to see it.
Seconds until minions
This is where you want the Blitzcrank now hook.
Yeah. Man, that'd be like, I feel like that's breaking a forbidden rule, though. If you hook someone that's dancing, you're not allowed to do that.
Haven't you heard of 4D multi-dimensional League of Legends? It's in development at the moment.
Oh, I might have to retire when that one comes out. That sounds too complicated for me.
Quattro suddenly shows up with his Blitzcrank from a different dimension, hooks the Scion, leaves, says nothing else.
Yeah, coming in, creating the anomaly for those that have seen that Spider-Man movie. But for now, my Cash just sitting here, making sure no shenanigans happen with the Gwen coming up to choose that tri-brush. Does seem like she's going to be patient and not go in. Jungler for MRG going to start on the top side. Meanwhile, Bobos going to start on his own blue buff.
There may be an angle here where Vi tries to set up for the solo lanes instead. Maybe get a kill up in the top side before the Gwen reaches insanity amounts of damage in the 1 versus 2 with needlework. It's entirely possible that they can secure a kill over there. Mid lane also with the miasma, they have proper setup if Influent ever overextends with a dash forward or anything like that. Because bot side, it's Aphelios Lulu. Those 2 are going to be cannon minions for quite some time.
Yep. And Kaga has hit level 2. Gonna already start pressuring away that Scion. I mean, those scissors can really cut down his HP if he's not careful, so understandably plays back. And I do want to talk about that being a factor. Top lane most likely going to get priority from what we've seen. Bot lane definitely going to get priority with that Lucian Milio. I wonder maybe if Nord is going to take advantage of that and try to find some of these early ganks, maybe try to get something in the mid lane. Vi already hovering.
I think both of the junglers are just going to full clear here. Get the recall off, get some of the first items. These both want to get to level 6 as fast as humanly possible.
Ooh.
Invading with these sorts of pseudo-scaling lanes is a little bit risky. They can't really secure any sort of priority without the other player either messing up or something like this in the bot side happening where you have the Lucian Milio just chunking down MKR already.
Yeah, Shakur might consider diving here. Throws up the W to cancel a recall. That was a really well timed. Actually, I don't think she got it up in time, the shield. But still, Aphelios able to survive for now. Shakur still moving forward. They are just not letting them recall. The pressure is just so hard.
MKR suffering. You can hear the cries of pain. And Bomo has rotated over trades a little bit with Nord.
Yeah, brought very low by the jungler. I'm not sure if they were maybe planning to walk down, but whatever their plan was, it's not going to happen now. Has to take the recall, probably has to burn the teleport as well.
Most likely. MKR losing 3 waves in total from this. Huge advantage for Shakur and Musi. This is exactly how you want to play against the affiliates. If you don't outscale him, you deny him every single resource you can get. And Munster doing it immaculately now on the bot side, able to get a free recall off, double longsword in the inventory. Shakur is one happy AD carry.
Yep. And now we're going to be seeing probably a very troublesome lane for the Aphelios. A double longsword purchase already for Shakur. Gonna be really increasing that power. Mosey getting back from some warding. Now, Red Gun about to run out, which you don't like against lanes like this where you are being brought to low HP pretty often like we saw earlier, but maybe Bobas hovering could look for something.
He is there to cover for his laners. They could even set up a dive. Bomber already level 5. Cassiopeia does considerable amounts of damage if he is able to get everything off. Sejuani and Cassandra both a little bit late here, but now they decide against it. MKR just wants to farm up. They have double defensive summoners. Nord now spotted on the ward. Boba sees them. Most likely, nothing going to happen here unless they do see each other now.
Yeah, spotted out the jungler. Nord
Cassante
now might be in a bit of a rough spot. Has to be careful. Cassante coming down. Maybe it might be blue-white in some trouble. Influentic trying to find MKR. Has to flash over the wall for now. Bobot doing as well. But Influentic follows, trying to find the kill. Lucian goes forward, trying to make it happen, and he does. First blood, but the chase is not over. Musi with the flash Q. Gonna be able to find a couple targets. MKR surely will fall down now, this time to Influentic. 2 kills to start off the game for MRG.
And Cassiopeia not able to rotate. The lane is so far pushed, the freeze would get instantly broken and he would lose so much CS if he rotated over. And MRG capitalized so hard. Good job by Musi there. Flash queuing, got the slow onto both members remaining on the chase. And they just want to take this dragon.
Yeah, Bobas kind of hovering, but you doesn't have any priority, so understandably so, respects and backs off. Influentic gonna come up just in case. Musi as well. Mycash taking the teleport topside to catch this wave. So far, I mean, the game's going so well for MRG.
So far, so good. I did say in Champions League, this bot side is where they will be playing for the most part of the early to mid game, as Lucian Melia, one of the strongest laning duos in the entire meta. And they brought it to good use already, quite a bit ahead compared to the AD carry of Blue Whites.
Yeah, they've been playing the spot lane to a T, have forced an early recall, and even got a big play in the jungle, as we saw earlier. Now maybe a play on this top side. Mycash finding the knockup. Vi hasn't even looked the direction yet, and looks like she won't for now. Not going to opt for the gank. Kind of an awkward spot to make it happen.
And this Gwen is already level 7. With Needlework hitting 2 people, Vi not able to get level 6 just yet, it could be a suicidal mission to try to get a kill over there, as they don't have the damage just yet. Bobas most likely going to reverse his clear as well once this level 6 has been hit from the Krugs.
Yeah, and now it seems like MRG in a bit of an awkward spot themselves. Bobas trying to set up this lane gang. But yeah, they've spent a lot of resources trying to make the trades happen on the bot side, and it hasn't quite worked in their favor. That was a very good ward by Kaga, able to spot that one out before it becomes a problem.
Just smelling it out. Really good awareness by Kaga.
Yeah, and now MRG maybe looking to make something happen here in the mid lane. Maybe, well, Bobas has spotted this out. Has to be careful. Shakur throwing out the ultimate, but not able to find anything yet, but wants to keep going anyway. That burst damage is ridiculous, but will he be able to find the kill? He will not. The Lulu just so good at keeping the ADC alive. Meanwhile, Nord going to be going into the jungle here. Bobas stunned, but gets away in time. Here comes the choo-choo train, but unfortunately will not make it to the station.
A little bit of hesitation there on the side of Blue Whites. Didn't know if they want to fight the Sejuani or not. Both the members on the solo lanes little bit too far off of their key power spikes to want to take a risky fight, and now they're looking for MKR bot side.
Yeah, MKR in a lot of danger here. Shakur gonna kill. Polymorph coming in a little bit late, not gonna be able to find anything, but Boltock's gonna get a return kill. 1 for 1, but hey, the gold going on the ADC, I'm sure MRG are saying hashtag worth.
And of course they get the Herald secure on the top side. Everything so far going their way. Bomo getting all out, it has a flash.
Was in a little bit of trouble there.
Oh!
Oh! Shakur, actually, that was pretty smart. Able to avoid death there. Didn't have to burn the flash, but hey, execute. That's better than a kill as we look at the mid lane. Nice job there by Sejuani to keep anything from happening.
That's what you call a fast recall by Shakur. No need to channel for 7 seconds. You can just instantly go base to buy. They're still really low on HP mid lane, trying to look for some sort of an overextension by either one of the Cassiopeia or Cassante, but with Cassante's flash being burnt earlier in the skirmish on the bot side, Bomo has to play down the summoner spell for the upcoming laning phase and possible dragon fight. And with Cassiopeia against this sort of team composition, it's really annoying.
Yep, nice knock up there. Well, I mean, knocked up the minion really well, but now maybe something could happen here in the top side, as we were talking about earlier. Now that the Gwen has the ultimate, could look to make something happen. No junglers nearby, so this would be a gentleman's 1v1, but no one pulling the trigger quite yet.
Influentic just happily keeping Prio in the mid lane as the dragon is about to spawn in a minute. They put down the pinks. It's entirely blue side vision for the entirety of the map.
Oh, Influentic. Come on, man. Just throwing down the spam laugh there. Sometimes you just can't help yourself, you know? I don't blame him, as Nord trying to find something here. Control Ward is going to spot out the potential play, so he's just going to get on out of there. Not going to pull the trigger on anything, but maybe wants to go for the blue buff. That would be very risky. Meanwhile, on the top side, we're going to see maybe an extended fight. That's a lot of damage already being done by Kaga. MyCash has to back out. Back in the bot side, we see Kazante coming up, able to get the smite. Nord going to keep going forward. Boboss might be in some trouble, but just should be able to get on out of there. Bit of a tense moment, but nothing really coming out of it.
They can't find the angle for the engage. Blue Watch just too far up their own high ground behind the towers. Just the concaves against Cassiopeia and Aphelios that has a flamethrower, not fights you want to take. And now mid lane though, they do have Bobas on a ward. Know that Blue Whites can't really rotate over here properly.
Yeah, Boba's thinking, but decides to go out, concede the dragon over. You know, it's just the Cloud Dragon, really not worth flipping over. Understandably, they just give it over, and the soul of the day will be Infernal. I think that's the first exciting one we've gotten.
Ooh, it's not fun for Blue Eyes, that's for sure. Your team dragons down at 12 minutes on a scaling team composition. You suddenly have Infernal Soul for a 2-1-0 Lucian that's feeling himself. Shakur, so happy. This game has been going his way from minute 1.
Yep, but at the same time, Blue-White do have the potential for the reverse sweep on the Dragons. A quadruple Infernal would be huge for their composition, as they're trying to find now maybe an engage, but unfortunately it is still early game, so the Infernal ultimate not doing a whole lot of work.
And they wisely use the ultimate to clear the wave, so the Herald doesn't get a insane charge off with the full damage output. They, however, do secure a bunch of gold again for the carry of MRG. Nord now.
Oh, might be in some trouble. They're dedicating to this fight, trying to find Nord, who's going to flash away for now and should be safe, but that is a big summoner spell to get out. Meanwhile, Mike Cash, oh my goodness, he is getting bullied.
Yep, that's not a fun matchup for any tank. Gwen just so good at melting tanks. Max HP damage, true damage. What doesn't she have? She's immune.
She does have a lot, you know. She can kill tanks, she can kill squishies, she can avoid ranged abilities. It's a lot of abilities in her kit, as it's going to be a lot of gold going over to MRG. I almost said MLG, oh my gosh. in this bot lane. Might get this last plate. Nord coming over to try and make some pressure happen, but speaking of pressure in the mid lane, we do see a gank coming through. Petrifying Gaze not going to find the mark for now. TP coming in. Sion trying to find something, but not able to do so. Charging up the Q for this TP. Gwen might be in some trouble, caught in a very bad spot, but it's just not enough to do so. Yeah, Pomo out of mana, so they're not able to continue to play, but now they realize they can make something happen on the bot side. Shakur going to pressure them away and get this first turret. That's big for MRG.
Good defense by Monster. They are not giving any resources for Blue Eyes to play with. Everyone's surviving, and the force of nature first buy for Influentic easily stacked up, gets that damage reduction, just refuses to die to the Cassiopeia burst, even with Boba's helping. And now Monster already 5k ahead, 2 dragons up, feeling really, really good about this mid game. They're gonna just rotate bot lane to mid, try to siege down even more towers with their strong lane matchups, and Blue Whites just can't really find any space to get a pick or any sort of objective.
Yep, and MRG gonna use their early tempo to try to pressure this mid lane, but Blue-White gonna respond by tending their own bot there as well. Nord just continuing to clear vision. Oh, nope, not gonna be able to get the red buff, unfortunately. Bolas gonna secure that one. And now, kind of just dancing around. Herald is up, and maybe MRG want to go for it, but Blue-White staying around, trying to prevent that from happening. Influentic matching the Sion there on the bot side.
Shakur, again feeling himself a little bit.
Shakur, oh my god, that burst was insane. That could have been very bad. Luckily, the Lulu able to keep him alive. No summoners burnt for that, thankfully, so maybe they can consider... No, actually, they're not even gonna consider coming over to this one. They're just gonna give the Herald over to MRG.
And again, Blue Whites, these matchups on the lanes are just so bad. They can't find the trades to fight back. It's just all Shakur and again the mid lane.
Yeah, like you said, the matchups are just being so well exposed, and Shakur picking up a kill onto MKR. Oh, maybe something could happen here. They're playing very patiently. Oh no, Cassio! The recall timing was off, has to flash away, but I'm not sure if that'll be enough. Petrifying Gaze only able to stun one, and that's another kill over to MRG.
Just... We've seen these recalls in the middle of the lane 2 times now get instantly punished by a roaming jungler with an ultimate, just catching them off guard. And that's another really nicely found kill for Monster, looking so strong at the 16-minute mark. 6k ahead. Aphelios shut down, one whole item behind. Mid lane, Cassiopeia still alive and breathing, but starting to feel the pain from the enemy team composition. This Gwen already Riftmaker up. Nobody can face her on the side lanes, but Bobas!
Oh, Bobas might have gone a little bit too far in a really rough spot, but look at this Blue-White trying to make the most out of it, able to get 1 kill so far, but the fight does fall down. Now Kaga chasing my catch, getting a lot of damage down. Influentic has arrived and is able to find some CC, but not a whole lot yet so far, 1 for 1. And it does seem like it's going to stay just like that, but still, they turn lemons into lemonade.
It's support for jungler. MRG has the priority over this dragon, unless Blue Whites wants to fight them for it. They don't have too many ultimates though. Only Moonlight Vigil and the Petrifying Gaze available for them. Mycash just needs to walk up and queue if they want to go in. But Kaga, look at the flank. This Gwen could get into the back line.
Oh, the Gwen's right there. They don't see it. Now they do. She's going in. Polymorph for now. But Shakur on a rampage. Kaga still going forward. That damage is nuts. Able to find the kill flashes to secure it. MKR trying to find something in return, but just can't do it. Maybe he might be able to do so. Mark comes down.
So
but the Calibrum follow-up's not enough. Bobas was considering going in, but decides to back off for now. MRG just dominating the fight.
Monster coordinating so well around the objectives, know exactly what their win condition is, and that is to stat check, dominate, push forward, do not give Blue Whites an inch.
Oh, Bobas trying to find something here, but won't be able to do so. Kaga gonna safely recall, but yeah, they are just stat checking everyone with this Lucian and the Gwen. Both of them just so fed. Now Lucian does have the Navori Quick Blades. Gonna just turn into an Earth champion at this point.
Lucian just so damn strong, and Shakur constantly showing up as this rock of an AD carry, putting out performance after performance. It's looking a little bit scary already at 19 minutes for Blue Whites. They are playing the scaling composition, and Vi, one of those champions, when she falls behind, she does not feel very good.
No, she does not. It kind of just feels like you're playing a support instead of a jungle bruiser. Herald Charge gonna be able to secure this mid lane tier 1, but maybe Boboss trying to find something. Charging up the Q, but just gonna go on the Herald for now.
Cassio?
Oh, Pomo. Yeah, gotta watch out for the Cassio. Able to get that big miasma. But so far, Nord has been feeling fairly well. Boboss trying to get in, trying to find Shakur, but they just can't fall down. 1K Bounty does go over to the Cassio, though. But Influencing has arrived and is influencing this team fight. Kaka here as well. MKR being protected by My Cash. But My Cash might be in danger. The damage is so huge. He just melts right off the map. And now Influentic running forward, trying to secure the kill onto MKR, who's trying to put in work, but just can't do it. Able to get a kill on his way out, though. Boltok trying to make something happen, but is just going to get on out of there. Did as much as he could, but still, amazing fight after amazing fight for MRG.
Was a really good engage by Blue Whites, but they're just so far behind. They got a 2-man ultimate with Cassio, Sion into the miasma. Lucian was locked up. We're probably going to see it on the replay here. Look at Shakur. He gets locked up for so damn long, but the gold advantage that they have, and Musi keeps him alive for long enough that he is able to finish off Bobas with the culling. How does Shakur die? I think he takes down the poison of FOMO. Yeah, Leandri able to take that kill down, and afterwards, most of the DPS now gone. No frontline to speak of, and Gaga on this Gwen is immune from most of the DPS. Just such a powerhouse, able to walk forward and secure the rest of the team fight for them. Of course, MKR secures a kill here after a small overextension by Nord, but still a win for Munster.
Yep, and it does feel like Munster. Oh yeah, I was gonna say can push an objective, and that's exactly what they're gonna do. Pressuring the Baron here. Bobots hovering. Yeah, MKR on the wrong side of the map for this one. I don't think Blue White have any chance of contesting, but we'll see if maybe a steal can happen. My Cash and Boboss hovering, but I want to say I don't think it's possible, but I also don't want to curse them. 4K health now. They're able to find the knockback onto Pomo. 3K. Kaka just going to go over and jump onto Pomo. Might be knocked up here. Knockup's actually not going to come through. Cancel too early. Now, MKR finds the snare, but it's just not deterring them. Ultimate being used by the Sejuani, able to deter them away for now, but it doesn't seem like anyone's going to go for the Baron.
That's a lot of cooldowns gone from Munster. They can't go for the Baron anymore because Blue West didn't expend almost anything. They only used Cassiopea's Flash, didn't even use the Petrifying Gaze. So if they would take a team fight now, it's just an automatic loss. No needlework, no Sejuani ult, no calling, no nothing. And instead, they go back into the resource denial game plan. We need a little bit more before we can stat check them through the cooldown barrier as well.
Yeah, and it's starting to worry me. Last few games, we saw kind of the same thing. The scaling comp slowly started crawling back, and it does seem like Blue-White are slowly starting to be able to contest these fights, but still lots of gold in favor of MRG, and they're just able to force these objectives as much as they want to. And on the note of objectives, Dragon coming up here, it is sole point for Blue-White. They really want to contest this, and so they're going to push the tempo, trying to find a pick onto the Sejuani would be huge. But Mosey, the disengage is so good, able to keep him alive. Divine might have gone in too deep. Bobot's in a lot of trouble. But look at that, Pomo able to find the kill onto Nord. It is 1-for-1, but the junglers are both dead. With the Dragon coming up, that makes things very interesting, but they have to keep an eye on Kaka in the top side. Cleanse being used by Shakur, trying to get out of this one, and he's able to get Pomo! The calling doing so much, Influence cleaning up the other cow, and he flashes forward to find the knockback. My Cash might be in trouble. Shakur able to avoid the knockup, and the Gwen is still pushing. Meanwhile, back in the river, Influentic able to find a kill onto the support. That's an ace. That's the Dragon, and that's an inhibitor. It might be more if Kaka wants to keep pushing, but he backs off and respects the vibe, but still Infernal Soul going over to MRG.
As we previously said, this game has been all Shakur, and it keeps on going. Kaga does not even need to join the fight. Buying the Magi, this is the second one we've seen today. Just an immaculate performance from the side of Munster. Every single member doing their job, while Blue White's just not able to find the proper team fight. Again, Bobas a little bit too far forward as they were fighting. They don't have the damage to burn down the front line. And Shakur pre-hitting this entire time, flashes away, vibe blows up, and that is almost the fight over just there. Blue Eyes tries to turn around with a petrifying gaze as Pomo looks for the angle from the fog of war, but Shakur, look at this reaction from him.
I mean, yeah, it is insane. Just instantly able to avoid the petrifying gaze, and the calling was just so nice from him. The rest of the fight was just made so easy thanks to him, and it's like you said, he's just absolutely popping off and controlling this game.
Meanwhile, on the live screen...
Meanwhile, yeah, something going on here. Oh my god, 2 people have died! What? This might be the end, actually. 2 key members down. MKR being poked back, Influenza coming over the wall, trying to find something. MKR running for his life, and they have to just run back. Oh, that is actually now starting to hurt that Infernum. Look at this, choo-choo, right into the station, but it might be the wrong station you want to pull up to, my friend. Mike Ash in a lot of trouble. This tower is about to go down. The demolished truck, whenever it is used, actually not going to be used, but still the tower taken down. Mike Ash walking forward again, maybe trying to find a Q angle. But so far, nothing yet. Charging up, trying to find something. Double spun, knock up. But oh my god, Shakur blowing up MKR, able to even live. Comes back for the damage. Double kill for the ADC. Now Bobas trying to come in, trying to clean up, trying to find a way onto the backline. But he just dies. Triple kill for him. Just keep spoon feeding those kills. MRG just dominating the game from start to finish. They're gonna pick up their 3rd win and end off the day on an absolute banger.
Yeah, Munster showing what they're made of as they secure their 3rd win of the season. And Blue White go down 1-3. Really, really strong showing, especially from the bot side of Munster.
Yeah, I mean, Shakur, you know, takes his name after Tupac Shakur. I'm sure the GOAT himself, showing why he's the GOAT of the Rift, just dominating the game. Carvis, I mean, it was just unbelievable how well that Lucian Milio worked.
Yeah, just Lucian Milio showing why it's the most lane dominant duo, able to punish Aphelios, able to punish things like Zeri, and it is why it's the 3rd most AD carry compared to these hyper carries. With that, I think we go to... What do we do? Do we go to a short break into outro?
No. We're going to be joined by our host, Jiriel, once again. Going to be throwing it over to him so he can talk about that last game with us before we send it off.
Back.
I mean, wow. What did you think of that one?
That's crazy. That was crazy. Like, I'm not going to lie, like, we talked about game plans. I feel like we've really been on the money with what we kind of expect from the teams. And to be honest, the teams have really delivered, give or take maybe Anima. But this game was on the money, right? You were on the fence, Carvis. You kind of said a little bit about kind of... by the way, that wasn't a short Anima. They played way better than I would have ever thought they played. That's what I was saying. But anyway, going back to this one, though, MRG... they set the tone from the get-go, right? We said that they had a good mid-game. They had really good power spikes that will all match up at the same time. They played to it exactly. They played strong around objectives. They took early leads. They took early fights. They were up 4K at 14 minutes, and they were able to get 2 Drakes and the first tower at that mark as well, and they did not slow down from then. They kept pushing. They kept taking those objective fights, and they kept winning. And you said it multiple times on the cast. Blue Whites, they found really good fights, but they just weren't close enough. They weren't ahead in gold. They weren't able to keep up with the item differential, and it just led to them losing out on fights. And man, Shakur, like, what can I say? Like, it is what it is. Like, more money, more problems is a song in America, but that's not how it works in League of Legends. He had more money, and they had a lot of problems. He was able to finish that one up quick. 16k gold lead, 26 minutes in. MRG showing that they are a team that you've got to watch out for in this league indeed. But that was a lot. With that being said, that's our 3 games. We've got to see a lot of action, a lot of like upsets, a lot of drama. Like, we've had it all today, on the NLC Div 2. But I want to say a big shout out to you two, taking us through all of the games, Carvis and Takeoff. Obviously, a big love to you guys. Do you have any final takes before we end the show? Takeoff, you can kick us off.
I mean, all the games today were so exciting. Even the last one, although the momentum didn't really swing back and forth like the first two, it was still a very interesting game to see. I just can't wait for the rest of the year. We're only just getting started.
We are indeed. Any last words from you, Carvis?
It's so far, it's just been 2 weeks and we've already had amazing games. Make sure to follow the NLC, follow Div 1, follow Div 2. We'll be here occasionally. Follow the cast as we're trying to up the level of NLC further and further, whether it be regardless of division. Just keep following these absolutely banger games. It's so fun to cast these, and I can't wait for more.
See a lot on Twitter. Make sure you give them a like, and then you'll make sure that you know exactly where to be when the NLC Div 2 or Div 1 is going to be live on your stream. I've got to give a couple shout outs before we go though. Shout out to our producer Cal, who without him we literally wouldn't even be on the stream, as you saw a little bit before our draft. So big shout out to them. Obviously another great day, getting more production, more replays, more action on your screen for you guys viewing pleasure. And obviously shout out to all of the people in chat. Without you guys, there'd be no point in putting the stream on at all. And shout out to the players for voting on such a good performance. I'll give you a quick TLDR before we go. So game 1, in case you missed any of the action today, was between Lundvis versus 42. It was a first upset of the game. 42 coming in with their first win of the day in a pretty good fashion, to be fair. Able to really use their comp with some comfort picks to take out the win. Game 2 was Venom Crest versus Anima, and what a game that was. Almost the upset of the year. Anima picking what we thought was not the strongest comp, taking Venom Crest, who are considered being one of the best teams in the league, all the way to the late game and only losing it just on one team fight that went a little bit bad. And then obviously the game that we just watched right here, right now, just in case you're tuning in a little bit late. MRG absolutely putting pedal to the metal and picking up a win over Blue Whites. Blue Whites having some good team fights, having some good moments, but they were just a little bit too far behind when they started to link it up and play properly. But with that being said, that is all from the NLC Div 2 today. We'll be back later in the week, so make sure you stay tuned and keep yourself updated.